Hello, everybody, and welcome to my channel. I am more than this flesh and what comes with it. I am life, love, balance, and nature. So, like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to share. And thanks for watching. Okay, so let me tell y'all about the things that I had experienced that I couldn't see. I That's exactly how I'm going to say it. How I couldn't see, right? So when I was like 11 years old, I was in bed and something was laying on top of me. I couldn't see it. And at the time, well, before then, I never thought about prayer. I never thought about God, Jesus, none of that. Even though I was brought up in it, it was never that important to me. God wasn't that important to me at the time. I was only a kid, so I was brought up in the Jehovah Witness world, and I say world because my household wasn't Jehovah Witness, but the rest of my family was. And then as I got older, I was being around like a whole bunch of Christians and stuff. So, but anyway, for some reason at that time, I want to say it was the first time me praying, and that was the day that I believed in prayer, like the power of prayer. So I was screaming, no one could hear me, and I just wouldn't release, and I couldn't move. And so I prayed, and after I prayed, it was released. I was like, yo, wild, right? And then I saw this blue bright light from the hallway, and I heard it call my name. And I was like, oh, I'm not going there, you know? And then now all this happened in the same night, right? And then it was another time. I was still 11 years old. I had a out of body experience, and I saw myself laying down, and I was like above, just watching myself, and that was it. I don't remember anything that happened after that. I don't remember tapping into myself, like none of that. And I don't believe it was a dream either. I just don't. But also the way that I think of dreams now, I think dreams are like real life now. So, but anyway, so that happened. And then fast forward, I want to say back in 2014, my husband died, right? And the day of his funeral, it was hours later because it was at nighttime. I was on his side of the bed, and my mom and my sister were the only two people that was in the house. Excuse me. And I had the covers over my face, and someone was tickling my feet. I thought, okay, stop. I know the only people that does that is my mom, and the other person, he's dead. So I didn't think anything of it other than that's my mom. So I'm just like, can you stop? Can you stop? Can you stop? Just steady tickling me, and I'm laughing, but I'm just getting irritated because I don't like when people touch my feet. So I yell like, stop, and I put the covers. I took the covers off, and my mom and my sister come upstairs. Who are you yelling at? What's going on? And I'm just like, I thought I was yelling at you. Talking to my mom. I'm like, I thought you were tickling my feet. I don't like that. And she was like, girl, that wasn't me. And I'm like, clearly, I see. And I was like, yo, that's wild, And so I want to say a couple days later, I was on my way going to work, right? And before I enter any vehicle, I check the back seat always because I'm just paranoid, okay? And so I check the back seat, I drive, and for some reason I am so stuck in my phone. It's almost like I was just hypnotized, like for real. Because I don't understand how I was just stuck in my phone to the point where I couldn't even hear the semi honking and torn or anything, right? So I'm driving on the opposite side of the road, and there's a semi coming towards me, and I'm like in the daze, on my phone, just staring at it. That's the thing. I was just staring at it. Because I was getting ready to text somebody. I don't know who, I forgot, but I was just staring at it. I wasn't doing anything. And then all of a sudden, I hear a man's voice, and it says, "Carissa, watch out." And it's a voice that I don't recognize. And I was like, what? What? So I look up. I wasn't even scared that I almost died. I was like, who is this person? That was my only concern. So I pulled over and I'm freaking out, like, who are you? I'm looking around, nobody's there. And I'm like, I'm tripping. But I know what I heard. And I was like, this is not my mom's husband. It's the first thing that came to mind. And then I'm like, yo, what if this is God or Jesus? I said, but what if this is my guardian angel? I don't know. I'm just talking, right? And I never said thank you or nothing. I was just tripping. But recently, I, wondered, why was I saved? Why was I warned? Do that person regret it? Was there something I was supposed to do? On why the Most High didn't allow me to just die, you know what I mean? Or I can't say die, but to get hit. But I mean, I had a itty bitty car. That was a semi. I was going to be going. So that happened. And over the years of my life, I've always heard someone breathing, right? And I don't know if anyone ever had this experience, but I always hear someone breathing. And for some reason, I just assume it was a man. I don't know why, but I do. I don't know. And for the longest time, I'm like, I'm tripping, right? So one time I saw this movie about like some voodoo stuff, right? It was a good movie though, but I was like, can't mess around. And I remember in the movie, the lady was like, in order for something to happen to you, you have to believe it. So I was like, so whatever this is, if it's bad, I don't want to believe it. I don't even hear it. So you can't even touch me. So that's what I was thinking, right? For the longest time. And after a while, I just didn't even care. I act like I didn't hear it. And then I noticed that it will be next to me when I'm cooking and when it's nighttime. And I'm just like, why? And then after a while, I was just like, okay, you're here. I guess we just about to cook, because it happened more often when I was cooking. So anyway, that has happened and still is happening. Oh, excuse me. But anyway, so fast forward again. This was back in 2019. Yeah, 19. I was sleeping. Now, let me tell you what led up to this. So I was so depressed, right? I had really bad anxiety. I mean, it was on a whole other level. And I wasn't sleeping. And one day I was just praying to God. I'm like, look, I need you to do something for me. Like, I need you to put me to sleep. I need you to do something because I can't handle this anymore. I'm about to go crazy. And like, I got too much on my mind. And so I went to sleep. And I felt myself leaving my body. Kid you not, I can't make this up. I felt myself leaving my body. And it was like a sense of knowing that I had to be somewhere, right? And I was like, yo, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if I'm going to come back. But I know it's happening. Like, I feel it. Like, just leaving. And I'm just like, yo, what is this? So I'm like, I need to wake up. So I was, as I was waking up, it was coming back. And I was like, yo, first of all, that was the best sleep I done had in years. And secondly, I was like, yo, that's crazy. I was aware of it. So anyway, that happened. But oh, let me tell you what happened before 2019. Okay, so this is another power why I believe prayer is powerful, right? And why I just don't really believe in, I can't really say I don't believe in. I don't rely on humans that much anymore because of this day that happened to me. So I was choking on some candy, right? Because I was talking, you know, and I was right in front of my husband. I was choking, right? And he was just watching. He was just watching me, and I'm just like, I'm about to die right in front of him. He's not doing nothing. Does he want me to die? You know? And then I was like, if I do die, he's gonna be blamed for it. I can't have this happen. And then I'm like, I can't go out like this. Not over no candy. I'm tripping, right? And I felt like my body shutting down, and I started peeing on myself. I'm choking, and all of a sudden, I just remembered, okay, I need to pray. So I prayed, and the candy came right out of my mouth, and my throat was sore for like 2, 3 weeks. I mean, it was so bad, and I was just crying and crying and crying, and I was like, in that moment, that made me realize that we can't rely on ourselves, and the Most High is more powerful than anything and anyone. And in that moment, I reflect a lot. It's like, how could I ever question God? You know what I'm saying? But I have, though. I have. But I look back and I'm like, I've been saved too many times to question this man. But I have. Okay, so another power of prayer moment. This happened about like a couple weeks ago. My daughter was sick really bad, and I'm not into taking her to the hospital anymore, or to the doctor, right? So, so her dad gave her some medicine. I'm not for it at all. I'm like, I got some herbs, you know, she can take this tea. And she had a really bad fever, so he was just so aggravated, and I didn't want to fight with him anymore. So I let him give her some medicine, and like a minute or two, I was praying over her. And y'all know, like, when it comes to medicine, they need to take it about like 2 or 3 times a day, or like what, every 4 hours or so. So you know it lasts for a while, but it also takes a while to kick in. So anyway, he gave it to her, and I started praying. I'm just like, look, God, the Most High, Jesus. I had placed my hands over her. So anyway, I started praying over her, and I'm just like, look, the Most High, my God and Jesus, I need y'all to be with me for a moment. I said, you know, I need something to help her. And I'm like, even though I am lukewarm about you, I need you to know that she believes in you more than anything. So don't let her suffer because of me. And I'm just like, I hold the power with my voice, with my body. I can heal her, and I know I can heal her because of you. And you are in me, and I'm just praying over her, steady praying over her. And I'm like, she needs to get better. And everything in me knew that I could help her. And I'm just steady praying. And then within minutes, she was fine. Temperature went down. I mean, the fever went down. She was up, walking around. She wasn't crying anymore, no nothing. And I'm just like, man, thank you. Like, thank you for being there when when I needed it. And it was just wild. Like, I believe my voice alone, all of us honestly can do a lot if we truly believe. You got to have that faith of a mustard seed, I'm telling you. And I believe power. I believe prayer is power more than anything, I'm telling you. And still, as I'm thinking about it right now, I mean, how how could I ever question? I just don't understand. My problem is listening to people. That's my problem. Because I'm always trying to see everyone's point of view, but I've been shown too many times not to believe in the Most High, like for real, and not to believe in Jesus, straight up. But anyway, let me tell you about this next story. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you the time when my mom passed. So this happened back in 2020. 2020, and it was just me and my cousin, and everybody left. And what I saw and what I felt was two different things, and I will explain what I mean. So she wanted to be alert for this process, and she barely wanted any medicine or anything. And when it was time, like, for her to take her last breath, she adjusted herself to sit up as if she wanted to be aware of it, not just lay down, be all crumpled up type thing. But anyway, so she was sitting up, and she just let me know that she was ready. And as her passing, like, when I say passing, I mean leading up to her taking her last breath, because at the end of the day, she was slowly dying. So as time went on that day, her words was like mixed up, and she couldn't really say what she wanted to say. It was just like bits and pieces of things. But anyway, when her body was moving, it was like, I don't know if you ever saw someone die, but her body was getting adjusted, like it was preparing for her soul to actually leave. Soul, spirit, I don't know what to call it. But anyway, but I saw her body moving, but what I felt was someone behind me hugging me. And now, after a year later, I came across this scripture, and it says something about we will be comforted when we are mourning. I think that's what you call it, mourning. I don't know, but anyway, but now I think of it during that time. Even though this was an awful thing to see, it was beautiful at the same time, because I felt someone hugging me. I know that they were taller than me, because I felt like this huge presence. Not that much taller than me. But again, I couldn't see it, but I felt it, and you know what it feels like when someone is hugging you. So I just felt that tightness of someone just hugging me, and I felt warmth from my head to my toes, and I was calm. I was very chill when she was passing, and I'm just like, okay, and without asking, I was comforted during that time. And the Most High knew I needed it, okay? And my cousin, on the other hand, she's just freaking out. I mean, just losing it and crying. And I'm just like, it was almost like she wasn't there for a moment. And it was just me watching my mom pass, like I was surrounded by a bubble or something. And it was a peaceful bubble. And when she stopped moving, I've the I wasn't hugged anymore. It was just a release. And I felt like it was my mom because it was just a feeling that I felt. I just knew it was her. And if it wasn't, then I'm glad that it happened because I needed it. And also, I heard her call my name, not her flesh, because I'm looking at her and she's clearly gone. But I hear her call my name, and I'm just like, okay, that's that. Hold on. So anyway, so after that happened, I took a shower and I hear my name being called again, and it sounded like my mom. And so I took the curtains, I pushed it back, and I'm like, I'm expecting to see somebody, but I didn't. And I'm just like tripping. So I'm like, I don't know if that's what I wanted to hear or that's what I was hearing. And I just let it go. Um, every, so I don't know if that's what I wanted to hear or if that's what I was hearing. And so I just let it go. Everybody else in my place, I'm waiting for the people to come pick up her body and stuff because it happened at my house. And like an hour or two later, I'm on the ground finally crying, and I'm just like, can you visit me in my dreams? And not to say that I knew she was or anything like that, but I was just hoping that, God could hear me and allow her to come to me in my dreams, right? That's what I was thinking. So months went by, and I was losing it. I didn't tell anybody, like I was so suicidal, and it was a mess. I didn't want to be here nor nothing. And I wasn't sleeping. So one day it was at nighttime, and I felt someone in my room. I thought it was my daughter because she's just always over me, just standing there. So I had the covers over my face, and I'm thinking it's her. So I took the covers off, and I'm like, what? And nobody was there, but I knew someone was there. I just couldn't see them. And then I just brushed it off. I said it's not scaring me, so it must be good. So I just left it alone. And then that happened again the next day, and I'm like, what, Raven? But she wasn't there. And I'm like, okay. So it happened again, and I'm just like, all right, you got my attention. Someone is here, and I know someone is here. And it only happens at nighttime. So a week went by, and my sister and husband, they was like, you are in a good mood lately. I noticed that you've been sleeping really well. And I was like, you know what? I have been, like things are pretty good right now. And I was like, I know what's been helping me. Who's ever is coming in my room at nighttime is helping me sleep. Like I've been asleep for a whole week, finally getting some rest. And one night I went to bed again, felt the presence again, and I was like, I think this is my mom, but I'm not really sure, but I think it is. And I had a dream. It's my first time dreaming, and I can't even tell you how long. Like I just don't dream anymore. And I had a dream, and it was different than any other dream I ever had in my life. Like it was weird. Like I can't. It felt like it was real. Like so real as me talking to you right now. And it took me back to a house I used to live at when I was a kid, and it was me and her two sisters. And we were talking just as normal as I'm talking now, but we were crying. Like tears just flooded with tears. And then we're all wearing black. And then my mom walks in the door and she's wearing black. And she was like, I don't have that much time. I gotta go. And I'm just like, for one, I was so shocked that she was right there. So I really didn't say much because I'm like, what are you doing here? Because it felt like real. And it felt like a normal dream. So I'm like, what are you doing here? And we're just talking. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't even know if I was even talking. I know they were talking. But she just kept telling me, like, I don't have that much time. I gotta go. I gotta go. And I said, okay. And then I woke up. I never felt that presence again. And after that dream, that's when I knew that was her. I don't care what nobody says. That was her. And that dream was for her to tell me that she had to go and she, that was it. And without asking for help, it was granted to me, because I didn't tell anybody. And I I don't like to cry in front of my daughter or anything because she's grieving just like I am. So I keep it to myself. And so again, I didn't ask for help. So that happened. And, okay. So when my mom, finally took her last breath and I no longer felt her hugging me, right? I'm just gonna say her. Because I believe it was. I believe it was. Something turned off inside of me. Like I physically felt it, like it was no longer there. Like it was like a switch. And I'm like, I feel empty. Like something just pulled itself out of me that day. And I felt it gone for quite some time. And then something happened. I want to say it was after the dream that I had. A lot of stuff happened on a spiritual level after my mom passed. And it made me think that it wasn't a switch that went off, it was a switch that went on. And I felt like we became one. That's just how I'm going to explain it. Some of the stuff I've been saying, I've never spoke like this before. I've always been a spiritual person. Like I believe things that I can't see and sometimes can't hear. But I also need to, like, something needs to happen for me to believe. But who's to say it's not true type of thing. So that's what I mean by spiritual. But now, after my mom passed, oh, it's a different ball game. Like, oh, it's a different ball game. And I believe her death started some things. Also, my daughter's birth too. That started some stuff, but I just ignored it for a long time. But now I'm not. Now it's like I can't ignore it. Things are just happening, and I just wanted to share that part because I physically felt that inside of me. It was weird. So those are the things that happened to me that I just can't explain. As in, it just is. And those are situations that I couldn't see, but it was so real, clear as day for me. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my story and share if you want to.
I'm Raven.
Girl, move.